A producer for YouTube comedian Friendlyjordies has been charged with stalking the New South Wales Deputy Premier, Jordan Barilaro. New South Wales Police say detectives from its Fixated Persons Unit arrested 21-year-old Kristo Langker from a home at Dulwich Hill in Sydney's inner west on the 4th of June. He was later charged with stalking offences. The New South Wales Deputy Premier Jordan Barilaro is suing Friendlyjordies' Jordan Shanks for defamation over 2 sketch videos published on YouTube which accuse him of corruption. Kristo Langker is represented by lawyer Mark Davis.
After they arrested him and charged him, the police facts state that he stalked the Deputy Premier from a state funeral and then did various other actions, surrounded his car, followed him for 200 metres. Now, we are confident that Kristo's account is accurate. That is, he had nothing to do with the state funeral. Kristo Langker is a student at the Music Conservatorium. As he left his school, he saw Jordan Barilaro getting into his car. He filmed him. We have that footage. The police did not have it. And I'll put it as gently as I can. The disconnect between the video of the entire event and the information the police seem to have is not at one, let's put it that way. So I'm very keen to get this into a courtroom and for a magistrate to see that footage, and let's see what this terrifying encounter was for Mr Barilaro.
Kristo Langker was arrested by the Fixated Persons Unit. Could you explain what that unit is typically used for?
This was a unit that was set up after the Lindt cafe siege. Its stated intention at the time was to act against, I think the police commissioner called it lone wolf terrorists. That's what it was for, lone wolf terrorists. And now it's being deployed at a moment's notice against a comedian or a YouTube journalist who happens to run across the Deputy Premier. Now, I'm not diminishing it. This particular YouTube channel, Friendlyjordies, has been particularly critical and constantly critical of the Deputy Premier. But Mr Langer's interactions have been twice. Kristo Langker has seen Jordan Barilaro twice. In both instances, it was for legitimate purposes. They were filming. They had questions to ask the Premier. The one that prompted this invasion of his home was utterly benign in my view, and of course viewers can see that video. He's no terrorist. He's not psychologically unbalanced, which is what the state you're meant to be in when we deploy what is effectively a counter-terrorism unit against you.
Why are you concerned about the use of this unit to arrest a producer for a YouTube comedian?
There are women, and people frequently commented on social media today, there are women who are actually being stalked by crazed men. If only they could get such prompt service from the New South Wales Police, it might be a little bit easier to accept what's happened to Kristo. He's a journalist. This man, Barilaro, is Deputy Premier. I mean, the implication of this doesn't need to be overly pumped. It's very clear. If you're a critic of a politician and they have enough clout or police are concerned enough about them, the prospects of misuse are enormous. Now, I'm not saying, and I'll be discreet and cautious in how I put this, I'm not saying this is a misuse. Mr Barilaro may well have concerns for his safety, if you like, or if he feels intimidated, it's up to him. I'm not diminishing that. What I am commenting on is the apparent misinformation that the police have acted upon. And I firmly hold to that view, that they appear to be misinformed. Let's see when we get to court. And we invite them to scoop up every piece of CCTV footage they can, and there would be multiple cameras in this location. It's at the rear of Parliament House. It's around St Mary's Cathedral. We welcome all footage to be secured and played.
There's a video of this arrest available on the internet. It's quite dramatic. What will your client allege happened?
During the arrest?
Yes.
Well, he's pretty traumatised. I've got to tell you, he's not that thick-skinned. This is certainly no laughing matter for him. And it's absolutely no laughing matter for his mother and his partner. After he was arrested, he was at home at his mum's. He lives with his mum and dad. Police knock on the door. They don't charge in the first instance. He willingly goes, or rather peacefully goes. He knows his parents are there. He doesn't want a scene. He's out on the street under arrest when police turn around and charge into his home in pursuit of his mother, who's got no idea what's going on because she's holding his phone. This woman, well, I won't overstate it because she is now taking her own legal advice as to what she wants to do. But I can tell you this, she ends up with a crushed knee, a cut arm and severe bruising that appear to be fingerprints along her arm. His girlfriend is thrown into a side table and injures her back and is getting medical advice on that. They haven't made a statement. They haven't made any particular complaint. They are seeking our advice. Now, most pertinently, the mother, and on the video that I believe is screened on Friendlyjordies, you hear the mother say, "I've been assaulted. Who can I call?" Now, it's a pretty interesting question, isn't it? When a special forces unit have done this to you, you feel, as a citizen, you can't call the police. And in this instance, she can't call Parliament House. She can't call the government. Who does she call? Who do any of us call if we're treated like this? So at the moment, this entire family are in shock and considering their options. And Kristo is considering the broader implications of his defence and the imposition of very extreme bail conditions that are placed upon him. He could end up in jail in a heartbeat under the bail conditions he's operating in. So it's very dangerous for him to even mention Barilaro's name.
Could you tell us more about those bail conditions?
He is in breach of his bail if he possesses an image or a caricature of the Deputy Premier. That's possesses, let alone distributes, which he would have previously been distributing, I'm sure. He commits an offence if he comments upon the appearance or the behaviour of the Deputy Premier. Comments upon the appearance or the behaviour of the Deputy Premier, he's in breach of his bail and will be arrested. It's pretty extreme.
That's Kristo Langker's lawyer Mark Davis there, speaking with ABC News Radio's Rachel Hayter.